You watch. Hi there, James. Good to see you.
Good evening, Laura.
Let's start with a news anchor going somewhat off script. This is on the Russian-owned channel Russia Today.
That's right.
She was based in the United States, I believe, and basically she does not agree at all with what's going on in Crimea, and she made her feelings very clear during a live broadcast.
That's right. Now, first of all, there was Abby Martin, who is an anchor for RT, who made it public during her show that she disagreed with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But then another presenter, Liz Wall, did this yesterday. Let's take a listen. Do we have the audio? I can't hear. Can I have the retour?
I can't hear it either. Oh, I think we're having a little sound trouble. We can see it, but we can't hear it. I think we'll try again. Can we take another look at that?
And that is why, personally, I cannot be part of a network funded by the Russian government that whitewashes the actions of Putin. I'm proud to be an American and believe in disseminating the truth. And that is why, after this newscast, I'm resigning.
Now, I have to say, it's
very dramatic.
Right, and it's interesting this is the first time this has bothered her. I mean...
That's right. She was working for the channel for 2.5 years.
Right,
I think it was time to figure out that it is pretty much a mouthpiece for the Russian government in most cases. There are the exceptions, such as Abby Martin, who is critical of Russia. She's also critical of the US government, to be fair. So, in any case, let's take a listen to how she explained this decision to finally resign from Russia Today while speaking to CNN's Anderson Cooper. Let's take a listen.
Today, for example, I had an interview with Ron Paul. He has a very anti-intervention approach. I asked him in the wake of escalation by the Russian military, how long, how should we respond to this? How should the U.S. respond to this? And that question was cut out.
Really? It was cut out because, I mean, she was asking Ron Paul how we, the US, should respond, yet she's on a Russian network. I think she kind of hadn't fully understood that when you're on a network like Russia Today, you're kind of not speaking from the American perspective, even if it is RT America.
Do you think she's lining up for a job at another international
Well, she's certainly
channel?
getting a lot of publicity based on that rather dramatic resignation. In any case, Russia Today has responded to these media wars, as they're calling it, on their website. They point out that at Al Jazeera, staff in Lebanon made headlines by resigning en masse during the Arab Spring. Their Egyptian colleagues followed suit. Over 20 journalists resigned, citing disagreement with the channel's editorial line. So they're basically saying, look, this is kind of the era we're in. I suppose they have a point in the sense that increasingly channels are coming from a perspective, but I think certainly for Russia Today, they take that to the nth degree.
Well, when you work for a TV station that's funded entirely by the Kremlin, and Russia is not famed for its free press or its freedom of human rights, etc., then you are going to have to question
that's right.
whether what you say is the truth or not.
That's
but anyway, all right, let's move on then. Big story here in France. The former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has responded today after yesterday it emerged that a series of secret recordings of him speaking to his former advisor had been leaked to the press. He is going all out now to make sure that no more excerpts get published.
That's right. He has sought an injunction. He might even go ahead and sue Patrick Buisson. This is massively embarrassing for the former French president, who placed so much trust in the man who essentially became his guru in the run-up to the 2012 election, and he was being recorded the whole time. Let's take a look at some of the elements on social media. The French rolling news channel iTélé did a poll, and we have a graphic here on their Twitter page. Essentially, the question is does this compromise Nicolas Sarkozy's potential return to politics for another presidential bid? 61% of people think it doesn't, in fact.
Well, they haven't heard everything yet, have they?
That's right, but this is the whole issue, because the leaks so far have been pretty innocuous. So a lot of people are saying, well, what's really, the real issue here is what has not been leaked yet and what could be leaked. And I think Nicolas Sarkozy, he's very anxious to make sure nothing else more sensitive comes out. Hence these legal actions that he is taking. And the downside of that is that it's going to be talked about even more in the media, which is going to continue to paint him as somebody who has bad judgment in placing so much trust in Patrick Buisson. This article in the Nouvel Observateur website, they point out that going back, Laura, to 1987, he was accused of placing a microphone in the offices of the far-right magazine Minute. This on behalf of Jean-Marie Le Pen. So this guy has clearly a record in terms of recording his conversations, practices that are far from, that are quite unscrupulous.
Sarkozy's not the first leader, though, is he, to put so much faith in his advisor. I mean, it's often talked about that David Cameron in the UK is putting too much faith in his political advisor.
That's right.
And the one before him as well, who then got tied up in all the
I suppose the issue here is that Patrick Buisson is already a controversial character. He had ties to the far right, and now those ties are being placed front and centre stage with this, the aspect of the fact that there was a serious distrust there as well.
He, of course, said it wasn't him that leaked the tapes in the first place.
That's right. It was. Well, there are all sorts of accusations. It could be his son. It appears that one of the publications that went with the leaks, Atlantico.com. The director of that, the editorial director, is actually a former friend of Patrick Buisson who fell out with him. So there might even be vengeance in terms of the editorial decision to publish the tapes.
Okay.
French politics.
Yeah, it gets thicker and thicker, doesn't it? All right, James, thank you very much indeed. James Creedon there. Well, time now for our focus report. And Egypt's trial of a group of foreign journalists is being seen as a test